I don't know what to do about my husband. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. Yes, y'all can do math and realize I was young. We got engaged in college, but I wanted to wait until we graduated to get married. Long story short, we saw our tuition bills for the upcoming year and saw we'd either have to take out private loans or get married sooner, and as two broke college kids, FAFSA would give us Pell Grants and more federal loans, so we moved the wedding up to that summer. Our first 3 years of marriage were rough as we finished up school. Then COVID hit and we decided to capitalize on him being able to be a travel nurse, and he left for a few contracts. This took a toll on our marriage, but we worked through it and honestly became the strongest we've ever been in our marriage. I've always been much more introverted, a planner, and someone who likes routine. My husband is an extrovert, loves flying by the seat of his pants, and is just always outgoing. He's complained about me not being spontaneous enough or not being flexible when plans change. I've been working on it. It just takes me time to relearn and cause myself to think different from what I've done my entire life, which is to plan for things. Yes, I also have anxiety, but am doing well on meds, and both sides of my family have a history of it. My husband doesn't believe that anxiety is mental illness, but rather that the people who have it are too stubborn to learn to be comfortable outside of their comfort zone. Fast forward to last summer, he had an accident where he sawed off his thumb on accident and obviously had to stop working. He went through therapy, getting a prosthetic, and coming up with a plan of what he was going to do. He always wanted to go back to school, so that's what he's done now. He just started his master's program a few weeks ago. For the past year, I have supported us financially and have had him lean on me more emotionally as he worked through this. No marriage is always 50-50, and I'm proud that I am able to help take care of him. Obviously, living on one income, we couldn't do our spontaneous trips as often, or go out to eat, or literally anything else we'd spend money on, so he'd be annoyed but lived with it. One of my worries, which seems to be coming true, is that when he goes to school everything will be about him. I understand the importance of putting time aside for school and needing to study. However, I need to be respected by my time as well. As a result of him not working, I now work 2 jobs. His car just died and I'm trying to get him a new one, student loans just started back up, his are on deferment, and all household tasks are on me. I feel completely taken for granted. I work from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., make dinner, take care of the cats, make sure he has fresh laundry, etc. Now that I'm super busy during the week with my 2 jobs, the weekends I mainly use to catch up on literally everything else: grocery shopping, paying bills, budgeting, cleaning, meal prep, car maintenance, etc. What I do not have time for is spontaneous events, especially with us limited to 1 vehicle. Yesterday, Saturday, we went to our friend's daughter's first birthday party. The invite was sent on Facebook and was for a few hours in the afternoon. Of course we went. As we get in the car after he studied all morning, he complained about how much school work he has left to do and when he was going to do it. He then said after the party the parents were having a bonfire back at their place. I said I wasn't really interested in going. I'm not interested because I also have a crap ton of work to do, and also I don't like plans suddenly dropped on me like this where I'm trapped. Before I could give him my reasoning, he said, "This is why I hate you. You can't have any fun in your life, you're not spontaneous anymore, and what happened with you trying to be flexible with plans?" He was mad. I tried explaining myself, but woe is me because his life is so much harder being in school and he's making sacrifices for our future. Dude, I'm sacrificing literally my time, happiness, going on fun activities, freaking working 2 full-time jobs, etc. He just kept coming around to that I'm too introverted, I never leave my comfort zone, and that he hates that about me. I also only have a few close friends. And he complained that the friends I do have, it's such a pain for him to hang out with them because all they like to do is sit, talk, and play cards, etc. Yes, because we are introverted people, this is something we enjoy, etc. I told him I felt pretty called out, that everything he supposedly hates about me are my favorite things: chilling at home, baking, if I bake it has to be healthy or he'll give it to the neighbors or something, playing cards, discussing politics or religion, deeper conversations than the weather or sports. Today he left to go study at campus and is also part of the esports team there. I guess Sundays are practice days, and a couple of the other members backed out for being away from campus this weekend and having to study. He sent them all a message saying that if he could handle being a grad student, part-time worker, and live 30 minutes away from campus that they could also learn how to plan accordingly if they sign up to commit to something. I told him that he came off a bit aggressive, and he just keeps saying oh I'm just sharing my thoughts. Which yeah, they're your thoughts, but be nice about it. I just feel like he's being such a narcissist right now, he's so rough and mean right now. Like I know he's stressed for school, but I don't want to suffer like this for the next few years while he completes his masters. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. But back to the conversation of what we talked about yesterday with him hating me, he also said that I need to work on changing that about myself. I told him that yeah, I've been trying to be more flexible and fluid, but again, this is who I am as a person. When I hear or make plans with someone, my brain just runs through everything that needs to happen to make the plans happen. Such as reorganizing my week to do other tasks at different times, thinking if I need to fill up with gas, do I need someone to swing by my home and feed the cats if we're gone for a few days spontaneously, etc. I just can't live that way every day. I tried talking more about it today, but he was talking about his esports team not showing up, and I told him that he didn't have to explain to me that they signed up and committed to the team. I understand, but if it's causing you this much frustration, you can't control them either, then to just quit the team and focus on school since he feels so limited with his time already. I guess I just want to know your advice on, can introverts like me change to be that flexible in life all the time? Should I even consider changing? He already said he doesn't want to talk about it anymore or go to counseling. Do I just start planning my exit strategy? See, there I go again, planning. Comment. Your husband is an ass, plain and simple. He's a lazy, emotionally abusive POS. Honestly you'd be better on your own than dealing with his childish shit. He actually said the words, "This is what I hate about you," who says that to their wife? He also lost a thumb. He's still capable of helping you around the house. He's treating you like a bank account and a maid. Know your worth and don't put up with this. You deserve better. He's a total You're busting your ass for the past 2 years and he's crying "woo is me" and hating on you. Why are you with this dude? He doesn't appreciate anything you're doing. It's all about him. Well, guess what? The world doesn't revolve around you and your needs. He needs to step it up and carry some of the load that you've been carrying for the past several years. He knew who you were and what you were like before he married you, and now he hates that person. Kick his ass to the curb and see how far he goes. Please update us and tell us he's out and divorce papers we're served. Yeah, smoke is coming out of my ears. Who the did this guy think he is? You're getting walked all over, taken advantage of. You're his slave. It's up to you to put a stop to this. It's not sustainable. And some of the things he says would destroy many marriages. If you want to stay with him, you absolutely have to put your foot down. This situation is unsustainable. Sorry if that's repetitive. I wish you the best. Must be nice to be spontaneous, especially when you have no housework, no bills to worry about, and some magic fairy comes and cleans and cooks and takes care of your whims. Yeah, this dude is a dud right now, and it's either you put your foot down and force him to take up the slack, or it's gone on so long you're burnt out enough to just leave. There is a book called "This Is How Your Marriage Ends," and he may want to read it. It's by a guy who took advantage of and invalidated his wife's concerns for years and then faced a big wake-up call with the divorce. He had zero idea he was the one at fault, even for a few years after, until it finally dawned on him he was a jerk to her. I mean, LOL, a man wanting his wife to be more spontaneous and think that the housework is just gonna do itself without them. Good lord. You are who you are. Could you occasionally go with the flow for his sake? Sure, but he should also respect and appreciate you for you. I've been with my husband for 18 years. He has never and never would say he hates me or even tell me what I hate about you. Your husband is mean and selfish. I would absolutely insist on counseling. If he refuses, then you have your answer. I'm in the middle of grad school, too. I also work full-time and am a mom and wife. What I'm not is an asshole to my husband. BC, I'm stressed about school. He signed up for more schooling. It is his responsibility to handle that stress without taking it out on you. Full stop. You need to have a sit down and have a serious discussion about his treatment of you. Tell him flat out that it is unacceptable, and you will no longer tolerate it, considering all you are sacrificing to support him. If he can't figure out a way to handle his stress without being toxic and telling you how much he hates you and everything about you, he can leave. You'd be in a better position financially with him gone, honestly. You wouldn't be replacing his car and would only be supporting yourself. No matter what he says, this is a him issue. Not an issue with you. Really what you need to do is leave them. Stop paying for his school, stop supporting him and let him flounder on his own. Stop working 2 jobs. Has he no clue what you are doing for him right now? Obviously not, he's totally taking the situation for granted. I get he had a horrific accident and lost his thumb, I'm sure he can still work, maybe not actively depending on which hand it is, but it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice everything in order to make him happy. He knew who you were before he married you and now he's telling you you have to change in order to make him happy and for him not to hate you. Does that sound right to you? Oh yeah, you said he doesn't work. How can we put in his email that he works part-time? He's obviously not doing everything he says he's supposedly doing in that email. Why does he get a chance to relax and do whatever he wants one day when you're working your ass off? Next story 2. My partner admitted to sleeping with someone at a wedding. Should I forgive him? My partner of 9 months admitted that he slept with someone at his friend's wedding. We have been seeing each other for the last 9 months, talking on the phone multiple times a day every day. When I say every day, I mean literally every single day. I got out of a really toxic relationship last year, and was not expecting to find a connection like the one me and my partner, who we'll call Tom, had. Initially, when I matched with Tom, I expected it to be a fling. But we began hanging out often, sleeping together, and I eventually started to trust him and open up. We both went through some extremely hard life changes regarding our careers, health, and even family struggles, but supported each other throughout this time. It was really nice having someone I felt I could trust and actually rely on. I knew that even if we didn't end up together long term, I wanted him in my life no matter what. We went out consistently on dates. I'd met some of his friends, and I genuinely felt like he was my best friend. I will admit, we have been in a gray zone. There was a mutual understanding that neither of us were talking to or sleeping with anyone else. I trusted him. So cut to this past weekend, he goes out of town to his friend's wedding. Normally, he would call me when he got back to his hotel room, or in the morning when he woke up. He didn't. I texted him to make sure he was alive, and then he called me when he was heading to the airport. We talked a few times a day from Sunday to Tuesday. Cut to Tuesday night, my anxiety had been really bad for no reason. And I felt like I knew he had slept with someone. We were talking about the weekend when I just point blank asked him if he had slept with anyone, and he told me yes. He said he didn't want to ruin everything by telling me. I was in shock, said some things while he cried and hung up. The next day I told him to call me because I wanted to know what happened. Apparently, his friend, who knew we had met, who I had talked to before, and his fiancée arranged everything for Tom. When Tom arrived at the reception desk, he said they had seated him next to the girl. Tom said they didn't really talk much until the party afterward. Everyone went back to their hotel room and drank a lot of tequila. He told me she asked her to go back to the hotel room and he agreed. They slept together and he said he couldn't handle the pressure from everyone. He was sobbing on the phone, and I was in shock. He started telling me that he would literally do anything to still have me in his life. He said I could literally send him a list and he would do anything. He apologized over and over again. It was the saddest phone call I think I've ever had. Now I don't know what to do. I told him I needed to not talk to him for I don't know how long. But I sincerely care about him, and love him so much. Is it worth having him in my life as a friend? I feel like I have cut so many people off in the past, and it kills me to do that. Genuinely, like I don't know if I can with him. Would you forgive him? And is it my fault for not pushing the exclusive talk? Is it my fault we weren't technically boyfriend/girlfriend? I hate dating in 2023. Comment. Also, which pressure? Oh no, they were seated next to each other. What if he takes the bus and a woman sits next to him? Will he also have sex with her? Or he goes in the movies and a woman sits next to him? He doesn't even own up to his shit, he behaves as if he is the victim. But it is clear, as soon as Up is out of sight, she is out of his mind and he will cheat again. Yeah, that is one pathetic ass excuse too, lol. If nothing else, it's very telling in a lot of ways, but it definitely shows Up that he will never fully take accountability for his actions. Also stating that he didn't intend to tell her at all, lol. Yeah, he's a weak and pathetic man who clearly gives in to temptation easily. He will cheat again. And if Op remains friend, he will probably try and manipulate her into bed. It's only been 9 months, I say block/ghost him and move on. He did what he wanted to do. Don't buy that peer pressure crap. He fucked another woman all on his own. No one held a weapon to his head. It's only been 9 months, and he's waving a flaming red flag. Cut your losses. Don't waste your time on this spineless, weak little weasel. And don't buy this "oh, we didn't have the exclusivity" talk. He doesn't love you, plain and simple. If he did, he wouldn't cheat. He wouldn't cry about it. He feels guilty because he cheated. No, don't be friends. His friends are actively sabotaging your relationship. Do you really think these are his only friends who feel this way, or that they won't continue to pull crap like this? He lied and dissembled to manipulate you. He's not a good person. Why would you want to keep him in your life? Quit wasting your time with a cheater. You found out early enough that he is not a worthy partner and not husband material. Go find your future husband. This walking red flag, isn't it? Cut all contact. Staying friends keeps you in a toxic loop when you need a clean start. You would then be a red flag for a future, quality partner by holding on to your ex. You were in a gray zone because you didn't have the exclusive discussion. Fine, tell him that since you aren't exclusive, since you didn't have that discussion specifically, that means you are free to date other people. Of course, then I do think you should date other people, and also I think you should stop dating this person. You shouldn't have to beg and cry to be treated with respect from someone who wants to be with you. That should be your bare minimum.